All right, let's talk about Black Hammer. This is a comic series that, on the surface, is a deep dive into the whole superhero genre. It's written by the amazing Jeff Lemire and drawn by Dean Ormston. And you can't talk about this book without mentioning the incredible passion behind it. Seriously, Ormston had a cerebral hemorrhage and literally had to relearn how to draw to get this thing done. I mean, that alone tells you just how special this series is.
So put yourself in this situation, right? You're a superhero. You've just gone through some massive, universe-ending crisis. You fought the big bad. You made the ultimate sacrifice. You saved everybody. So what do you get for it?
A parade? A key to the city? Nope. Your big reward is 10 years stuck on a quiet, little farm that you can never, ever leave. And that's the entire hook of Black Hammer. That's the central mystery. You've got this whole team of once powerful, larger-than-life heroes, and they're just stuck, trapped in this weird rural purgatory, forced to live out these normal, boring lives. The big question is, why?
Okay, so to really get what this prison is all about, we've got to meet the prisoners themselves. And as you're about to see, these faces, they're going to look pretty familiar. They're stuck in this small town dealing with a super dysfunctional family dynamic, which, if you know Jeff Lemire's work, is kind of his signature move. So check this out. Every single character is a direct, loving homage to a classic hero from, the golden or silver age of comics. You've got Golden Gale, who was a total riff on the original Captain Marvel. Then there's Barbellion. I mean, come on, that's Martian Manhunter, right? In fact, the homages were so on the nose that one character, who was basically a tribute to Starman, had to get a name change to Dr. Andromeda after, let's just say, a publisher had a little chat with them. So these aren't just knockoffs, they're archetypes, classic ideas yanked out of their time and thrown into this bizarre new world.
But here's the twist. On the farm, they aren't a super team anymore. They're a messed up family. Abraham Slam, he's basically the dad, just completely stressed out, trying to keep everyone from falling apart. And then you have Golden Gale. Oh man, she's a 55-year-old woman trapped in the body of a 9-year-old girl. She's the rebellious teen, acting out all the time because, well, she can't even legally go buy a pack of cigarettes. It's just this perfect, heartbreaking way to show the mental damage that being stuck in these boring, everyday roles is doing to them. So why? Why put them through all this? Well, it's because the whole series is really a commentary on this huge trend in comics, something we call deconstruction. So what exactly is deconstruction? Simple, really. It's this idea of taking these larger-than-life, almost godlike characters and just breaking them down. You give them real-world flaws, you make them struggle with things, you give them all this internal conflict, all to make them feel more, well, human, more like us. And you can really see the change in what we want from our heroes right here. Back in the day, a hero's motivation was pretty simple. You do the right thing because you can. It was the right thing to do. But now it feels like for a hero to be relatable, they have to be kind of broken. They need flaws, they need some deep-seated trauma to feel real to us. And why did that shift happen? Well, there's a theory that in our more cynical, complicated world, that classic, purely good hero, it just doesn't land the same way. As this quote says, their implied benevolence and superiority feels condescending. It's like we can't trust someone who's that perfect anymore. We want our heroes to have some dirt under their fingernails. Which brings us right back to that farm. Because that farm, it's not just a farm. It's a massive, powerful metaphor for this whole trend. First things first, let's be crystal clear. The farm is not a reward. This isn't some quiet retirement community they got for a job well done. No way.
It's much more like a final resting place. Is the place you send old ideas and old heroes when they're not useful anymore. It's where they go to be forgotten.
Yeah, it's basically a limbo for anachronisms, a holding pen for characters that are seen as too simple, too goody two-shoes for our modern gritty tastes. They're relics, and this is where relics go.
And this quote just hits so hard, like a parent explaining to a child where their dead pet has gone. That's what happened to them. They weren't given a hero's send-off. They were just quietly removed for what the world decided was the greater good of the genre. They went to live on a farm. It's tragic.
So the farm is literally a metaphor for those massive, line-wide comic book reboots. Think about things like DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths. What happened in those events? Well, a lot of older, maybe more complicated characters got killed off, basically publicly executed, all in the name of simplifying things for a new generation of readers. The farm in Black Hammer, that's where all those unsuitable heroes go.
But here's the cool thing. Black Hammer isn't just pointing fingers and saying deconstruction is bad. It's not just a critique. It actually tries to figure out, okay, what's next? What's the way forward?
The whole series is basically making an argument for a middle ground. It's asking, can we have a world where the classic, mythic idea of a hero can exist alongside the complex, flawed characters we want today? After tearing everything down, the story starts looking for a way to build it back up, what you could call reconstruction.
And it kind of lays out a roadmap for how to do it. Step 1, preserve the legacy. You can't just throw out history. And the comic actually does this itself. It uses what's called the Hellboy model, creating tons of spin-offs that flush out the world instead of just wiping the slate clean. Step 2, find that middle ground. The story makes it pretty clear that nonstop gritty deconstruction gets old fast, but so does overly simple heroism. And finally, step 3, make them coexist. Find a way to blend the best of both worlds, the mythic and the modern. So, in the end, it all comes down to this one question. Can these old heroes actually survive in our new world? And the answer Black Hammer gives is a resounding they have to. By taking these classic archetypes, throwing them into our modern, cynical world, and then genuinely searching for a way to save them, the series makes this incredibly powerful argument. It's saying that if the superhero genre wants to have a real future, it can't forget where it came from. It has to honor its past.